Now that you have recorded your next masterpiece of a song and for all the parts by yourself, how do you go from this to this? Or this to this? It's easier than you think to make videos where you can play all the parts and then synchronize the audio and video using Final Cut Pro. As you just saw, I chose two old songs in the public domain, so I won't have any issues with copyright claims on this particular video, in this case, Amazing Grace and Arkansas Traveler. I will show you two techniques, the four-way or four-up split screen and the much simpler picture-in-picture. So first we'll talk about preparing the audio. The magic is in how you prepare the audio track so that Final Cut Pro can do all the hard parts automatically when you sync audio and video. The trick is to make sure the lead-in on the audio is longer than the lead-in on any of your video portions. So basically you'll prepare two audio tracks, one with 20 seconds or so of silence at the beginning followed by a 2-bar count-in. And this is the one you'll be using when you record yourself playing. The second will be the same track, but you will have muted the count-in, and this is the one you will use when you're preparing your final videos. You can adjust the length of the leading silence or the length of the click tracks to your particular needs, but 20 seconds and 2 bars works well for me. How you create these tracks really depends on what sort of digital audio software you're using. Either take a copy of your completed song project and add some extra bars and click track at the beginning, or just create a whole new project, set your beats per minute, add 10 or more bars at the beginning. So you could do your silence, you could do your click, your counted, and then just drop in a render of your completed song from earlier. Either works, it's all good. So the next step is recording yourself. For each video, you want to play back your audio track with the click in and video yourself playing whatever your instrument is. So start the audio with the counted first, play it loud because you want your camera to pick it up, and then start video recording. It's going to sound goofy, it's going to sound doubled up, but you will never be using the audio portion of your video for anything but synchronization needs, so it doesn't really matter. So for the four-way or the four-up split screen, we're going to have to do a little bit of math at first, unfortunately. For this video, we're doing high definition, so 1920 by 1080. We are going to scale each video to 1/2 size or 50% so that each video will be 960 by 540 pixels. When you resize a video in Final Cut Pro, it remains centered on the screen, so you will need to move it up or down a quarter screen as well as left or right a quarter screen to put that video in a quarter. The exposition or width is based on the 1920, so negative values will move it left, positive values will move it right. So use negative 480, which is a quarter of 1920, to move it a quarter screen left, and plus 480 to move it a quarter screen right. The Y position or height is the 1080, so negative values will move it down and positive values will move it up. So use negative 270, which is a quarter of 1080, to move it a quarter screen down, and plus 270 to move it a quarter screen up. For other resolutions like 4K, you will need to calculate the correct numbers for 1/2 and 1/4. And now we can do the demo. So I've already created the project and imported the audio and video. So let's start by synchronizing the click track with each of the videos. And quickly do the other videos. Now let's drop the synchronized clips onto the timeline along with the audio without a click track. You'll notice I only have 3 videos here, so I've used a background loop for the 4th position. Notice how nicely that the videos lined up now once we synchronize them. The next step is to detach the audio from our video clips since we're not using it. Now let's select the top clip in the timeline and we will move it to the upper left corner. First, let's change the scale to 50%. And then we'll change the X to minus 480 and the Y to plus 270. And there it is in the upper left corner. Now let's repeat the same process for the other three videos, putting them in upper left, and lower right. Now find the point just before when the audio starts, and we will trim the video at that point. You can select the blade tool quickly by pressing B in your keyboard and going back to the select by pressing A. Now select the top left fragment and press delete, and everything should shift over nicely. Now let's go to the beginning and give it a listen. Now scroll to the end of the video and do the similar thing to delete everything after the end of the song. And it's all done. Now let's do a picture-in-picture style video. This video I took a little artistic license and made the picture-in-picture slightly transparent, added a comic effect. So let's watch this screen capture of how I did it. So again, I've already created the project and imported the audio and video files. And the first step is to synchronize the video with the click track. And the second video as well. The next step is to drop the synchronized video clips into the timeline along with the no-click version of the audio. Now let's trim the stuff before the song starts. And trim the end as well. Also remember to detach and delete the audio from the two videos, which I forgot to do when recording this demo. And I want the harmonica video to be the small one, so let's move it to the top of the timeline. Choose where you'd like your picture to be. In this case, I had already determined an X of 312, a Y of 156, and a scale of 60%. Also decided to change opacity to 85% so you can sort of see through it. And now for a quick preview. And finally, I decided to add the comic effect to the video. And we're done. So this is how you set up the basic video. It's really up to you to do more of the video editing magic to take your video to the next level. I'm Brad Trupp. Thank you for watching this video all the way through.